Welcome to the ninth grade experience. I'm your host, Chris Dutchko. As a teacher of freshmen and one of our freshman mentor committee faculty advisors, I spend a lot of my school day thinking about and helping students with the successful transition from middle school to the halls of Emmaus High School. The goal of this podcast is to give you the story of the ninth grade here at Emmaus High School through the people who live it daily, the students and staff. We will attempt to touch on the real issues and stories that ninth grade students face, ranging from academics to athletics, technical school, and just trying to find your way as one person in a community of approximately 2,700 students. We will also look to speak with some of the influential staff members who play a key part in a student's ninth grade year. It is the hope that future ninth grade students and their families can use the tips and insights provided here to begin making connections to their potential new school and learn more about the day-to-day lives of the students that they will one day become and realize from day one that ninth grade counts. You can learn more about this episode and all of the episodes of the ninth grade experience by following us on Twitter at EHSFMC or at Chris Stutchko, or following the hashtag EHS9counts, or our website, sites.google.com/eastpennsd.org/ninth grade experience. Before we jump into today's topic, let's thank our sponsor for this show, the East Penn Education Foundation. This podcast has been made possible through a $1,000 grant awarded to teachers like me each year who are attempting to do unique projects in the area of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. The foundation supports programs that put learning in motion by giving students the tools they need to think actively in a complex and changing world. You can follow them on Facebook at EPSD Education Foundation, on Twitter at EPSD EdFound, or on Instagram at EPSD Ed Foundation. Now on to the show. Welcome to this special episode of the Ninth Grade Experience podcast. We're recording this from my house in Lower Macungie Township, and I have, for the first time ever, a special guest host with me this time. Would you like to introduce yourself? I asked her to introduce herself. She shakes her head no, but we're going to have my 9-year-old fourth grade daughter, Grace, as a co-host on today's podcast. She's going to help me to read some of the stuff that we have coming up later. Do you want to say something now? She shakes her head no again, not understanding that this is an audio medium, that she has to actually say things and make sounds for. So hopefully she'll warm up as we kind of go through here. But we thought it was important to kind of talk and see what everyone's up to. We're going to try to do this on a weekly basis. We're going to check in with different students. We're going to see what they're doing, how they're reacting, how they are adapting and changing to this new world that we're living in now, where we're home and we're doing stuff online and we have all these different resources. So we're going to see how people are reacting this week. We're getting a sense of how things have changed and how normal things are and what people are up to. So do you want to say anything now, Grace? Still saying no. Still a little shy here, but hopefully she'll warm up. So first thing we want to highlight is definitely, if you have not checked it out yet, on the East Penn School District website, right at the top, there's a yellow banner that says click here to visit COVID-19 resource page. The day of March 13th, the teachers in all the different areas were in charge of putting together different activities for you guys to look at, to keep your mind sharp as we go forward here. None of this stuff there is graded, but it's just some different stuff to keep you thinking and keep you in the mode of school. I know for science, we put up some cool stuff to look at different things related to some of the content we've been looking at, a paper airplane making challenge that we might do in future as well too. So we have some cool things up there. All of your teachers have posted pretty neat things up there. So just keep an eye out on that if you're looking for stuff to do. And really at this point, we're just kind of seeing what people have been doing and how it's going. We reached out two different ways. The first is on our Instagram page. If you want to follow us, it's at Ninth Grade Experience. So we reached out and just asked a Insta Stories question, what has been going on. So we have a couple of responses we're going to read here. We're going to read them using their screen name, and then we'll kind of go into some of the other stuff that we have. So at Ty Beeson said that he was listening to the podcast at home, which is great. I doubt it, but hey, at least he's saying good things about the podcast. And remember, Grace, if at any point you want to chime in and say anything, you're more than welcome to. At Lil Deep, at underscore Lil, at Lil score underscore Deep. He was just sitting at home eating pizza rolls, so hopefully he finds some more food to eat. At Ian Bow 9194 said, I wouldn't know. I've been sleeping the entire time. So people have been catching up on some sleep. We have at horse underscore lover underscore Caitlin sitting at home doing a little work and getting outside in her neighborhood, which we have seen a lot of people getting out in our neighborhood, walking around, doing stuff, being outside. And then v.lepresti23 says he's working out, eating, video games, repeat. So he's got a good little schedule going down there. So each week we're going to post story question on Instagram. If you want to respond back, we'll include it on the podcast as well too. So pretty wide array of stuff there as people are moving forward and getting used to all the different things going on. So the way this is going to work from here on out is that we contacted through Google Classroom, we contacted all the classes that I teach and asked them some simple questions about what they've been up to, how things have been going, changes in their routine, and different things like that. So we are going to read you their responses, slightly edited, but keeping it as close to possible. We're going to read first name, last initial only. And we're going to go through and read it. And if we find something or comment or add some things on it, we'll do that as we go through. So Grace and I are going to take turns going back and forth reading. Hopefully she decides to start reading and talking at this point. So Grace, are you ready? Remember, you have to talk into the microphone. No one can see you shaking your head yes. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So now you have heard her voice. She is really here. So we're in our dining room recording this as we go. So are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So our first response is from Reed S. He said he's trying to get into a routine. He's got something done, but failed midway through the day. He's waking up at about 7 a.m., getting ready for the day, then eating and going to work on his model Shelby Charger. From there, he goes to try to clean his room, which he's been doing a pretty good job of. He then goes outside, works on his bikes. Right now, he's fixing a friend's bike, which he hadn't had time to do because of school. Then he's playing Xbox from 3 to 5. He's eating, then hanging out with his dad and talking cars. Then he tries to go to bed around 9, which is good because staying on that normal bedtime is something that I don't know if a lot of people out there are doing. He has just looked some of the material that the school gave out and plans on working on bits and pieces. But right now he's focused on his science project. We're his science teacher, so that's probably why he might have said that, which he's fallen on behind. And he's also prepping for the apocalypse, which is not happening, but at this rate, who knows? If he's being honest, and this is an interesting one that we've seen a couple different times, he says, but if I'm being honest, I kind of miss school and LCTI. I miss seeing my friends. I'm also worried for my grandparents, so I give them calls every night. And that was his first week. So hits on a lot of different stuff there, but there's a theme with a couple people saying that they really miss school. So here we go. We're going to introduce Grace, and she's going to read our first one.
Lena K. I have been doing my work that teacher assigned for me. Yes, I have. Not really. Yes, I have. Nope.
So I think Lena's doing a little bit of joking around there where she said she's been doing some work. And again, her teacher's asking, so maybe she just thinks that she needs to respond there. But she's been doing some things, but not a whole lot. So moving on to Ishan, Ishan H. Well, I've just been doing schoolwork to the best of my ability. This COVID-19 issue really has messed up my whole schedule, and I just want to get back to school. A sentence I never thought I'd say. And I'm sure there's some of you out there that are thinking the same thing as like, oh, you're missing school, you're missing the social aspects, you are missing all that different stuff. So interesting perspective there from Ishan.
Grace R. I haven't been doing anything because I'm not allowed to see any of my friends, but I've been drawing and watching movies. I don't have a routine, not really. I just have more time to do things I enjoy, but it gets a bit boring after doing all day. About what's happening currently, yes, but if they are giving up physical things, no. I think people need to calm down a bit. Yes, this is a big deal, but it's causing problems in the economy because they are buying items at an
excessive
excessive rate.
So Grace is talking about getting into her routine there. Grace talking about Grace there. So it's good that she's not been allowed to see any of her friends. Remember social distancing, and we don't want people out there. Remember, it's not a snow day. It's not an opportunity to go out and have fun with your friends. You should be really staying close to home and close to your family and people that you live with. But it is interesting. We in our house, we had to really scrounge around to find some of those items at the grocery store. We had to go to a couple different stores for toilet paper, a couple different stores for paper towels. If you're looking for canned soup, good luck. Cans of beans, they're out too. Pasta, all those different things. So it is interesting to see how people are reacting to those situations and buying up all the different stuff. So the next one here is for me. It's David H. He says, nothing really happening. I was wondering why you sent us computer and economic stuff. I only access social studies because that's my favorite. Sorry. So I think students are, one of the things that I think some students are focusing on is things that they enjoy doing. So if David really enjoys social studies and wants to access it, that makes perfect sense. So right now, remember, we're in that time period where people can kind of do the things that they enjoy and build their brain activity up. So no harm, no foul on not doing the science stuff, David. So let's move it on over to Grace.
Caitlin P. I've slept in and I do my work in the morning, so I'm free in the afternoon to do whatever I want. Yes, I have done any work that the school is giving me. I look forward to the podcast.
Okay, so hopefully Caitlin will give a listen to this. We're going to let everybody know that participated that we'd recorded this today, and it's going to go live today as well too. But sleeping in, I think I've seen online some parents are saying that they're waking their kids up by 10 a.m. I don't know about in our house. How late are you sleeping till, Grace?
8:30.
8:30. My son, who's in the other room that didn't want to participate, maybe in future weeks he will. He said 8:45. So we are up and awake here at 8 a.m. pretty much every day. So when you get that and you see kids are waking up at 10:30, I don't know what they're doing, but interesting that Caitlin's getting a chance to sleep in a little bit. I'm sure a lot of us are enjoying not having to wake up at 5 and 4:30 and 6 o'clock to get onto our high school buses and get there.
I wake up at 7:30.
Well, you're in elementary, so you don't have to be up as early. The high schoolers have to be there by 7:15, so it's a different story. So our next person that's checking in is Austin P. Yep, his routine is play video games till he's bored, do homework, play baseball, drums, work on his train layout, etc., play video games, and many other things. He found the resources that the district and the educational departments have released. He thinks the disease is finally showing us that the time has come excuse me, for some technological upgrades like cleaning droids, mass purchasing of toilet paper, laugh out loud, etc. It also showed us that the unthinkable can always happen and therefore turn the unthinkable into reality. So that's pretty crazy. What would you say, Grace, to robot cleaners? Would you think that would be a good idea? Robot cleaners. It says cleaning droids there. Droids are like robots. What do you think? Should we get a cleaning robot?
We already have one.
What kind of cleaning robot do we have?
A vacuum.
So we have a robot vacuum cleaner. I don't know how much that really gets up off the floor. A Roomba, right? So yeah, I don't know, but if we had somebody walk around and continuously spray our house with Lysol, what do you think that would be like?
Smelly.
It'd be smelly, yeah. I know we had to open up all the windows in the house for that. But Austin at the end says the unthinkable can always happen, and honestly, we all thought with all of our snow days, we thought, here we go, we're not going to have any days off, and then bam, then this hits us, and now we're out of school for a little bit here. So, all right. So our next person here, go ahead.
Olivia M. I've been working on my art project today, and for COVID-19, I've been watching the news. I heard that some store hours will be changing. Also on Monday and Tuesday, I have been reading my book for English. I've been worried if there was going to be enough food. There wasn't much meat at the food store. I hope this ends soon.
There wasn't much meat at the food store. It was pretty crazy when you go into all the stores. And I know our Grace hasn't been to the store since all this started, but my wife and I have been going, and we go into the back where all the meat is, and there's literally nothing on the shelves. It's pretty crazy to see that people are really hoarding meat. I don't know. It's one of those things I would never have expected it. And yes, stores hours are changing. They're allowing elderly and at-risk people to shop early in the morning, 6 a.m. So hopefully people are getting out and taking advantage of that.
Nana's like, it's too early.
Yes, their Nana said that 6 a.m. is too early, so hopefully they decide to, I don't know if they have an afternoon seniors hour, but that would probably work out better. Why, Grace? Remember, we're on the microphone here, so why do you think that they need to have it early in the morning?
Because then other people didn't touch it and it's already like clean, so it's early in the morning right when the store opens, so they don't have as many germs on the thing.
That's true, so that they eliminate the germs, the stores are stocked and shelved, and they're ready to go. So I have 2 in a row here. One from Xander C. Have gotten into a routine of sleeping longer, which is nice, and doing the schoolwork anytime. So I think that's been a nice thing for some of the kids. And then we have Zachary W. He's been doing chores, taking his dog on walks, staying in bed with his cat. Hasn't gotten into a routine other than some baseball drills. He's done some school materials and trying to educate his brain while watching history videos and why the square root of 2 could be rational. So Zachary is out there trying to really challenge his mind and challenge his thinking a little bit there. Going on walks, with his dog is kind of cool. We've seen so many people, like I said earlier, walking around our neighborhood with their dogs, hopefully staying those 6 feet away from everybody as they go through. So we have a nice long one here that Grace is going to read.
Zoe S. The first few days after the shutdown announcement was rough, but as of a Tuesday afternoon, I got a lot of cleaning done. It's been rough, though, with finding specific items that stores have been running out of quickly, especially in a house of 6 other people. Despite this, I've gotten back in touch with drawing and reading. Although with that COVID-19 shutdown, it's been scary to find out that one or both of your parents may not have work for the next 2 or more weeks. Truly, I believe the most we can do is stay informed and make sure to wash our hands and follow the other health guidelines highlighted by the CDC currently.
So lots of great stuff there in Zoe's response. We have that she's living in a house with 6 other people, so that must be a lot of fun having all those people in the house. I'm sure here we have 5, so we're getting a little stir crazy, but I think we're managing pretty well so far. And then she talked about getting back in touch with drawing and others and reading as well too. So we know that, having her in class, we know that Zoe likes to draw and is reading. She was reading the Game of Thrones books last time we saw. So a little insider info as to what she's reading. It's also been scary to find out that her parents might not have work for the next 2 weeks or more. And I think a lot of people are dealing with those issues right now as well too. We have teachers that aren't working. We have instructional assistants that aren't working. We have lots of people that have to be home with all the different kids that have to be home. So that's something that will play out over the time here, and we'll see how that is. But again, we really like what she says at the end. She just staying informed, making sure she's washing her hands, following the guidelines, all that stuff. So I have 2 in a row here. One is from Zane. Zane has been up late watching movies, listening to the Beastie Boys, and checking Google Classroom, etc. So I like the order of operations there. He's watching movies. He's listening to the Beastie Boys. And Zane is a fan of the 80s and 90s hip-hop, so that makes perfect sense to me. Hopefully he can mix in some Cypress Hill in there. And he's checking Google Classroom as well, too. And then we have David S. I think I found out how bad COVID-19 really was and how fast it spreads. I also found out how dangerous it is. That's why I'm not trying to go anywhere, just to protect my family. How about you, is what he says at the end. We've given a lot of insight into what we're doing. But again, protecting his family, protecting other people, just because you might not have it doesn't mean you're not a carrier. So you might be giving it to grandmom or grandpop or people in your family. All right, so we're down to our last couple here as we kind of finish up. Joshua, yeah.
Okay. Joshua J. Yes, I have gotten into a routine of doing some work each day. I've been doing work and staying healthy. I have accessed the materials out on the school district. I have not
rediscovered
anything new.
So Josh is out there. He's accessing the stuff on the school district website. Hasn't really. One of the questions we did ask was, have you learned something new over the last couple of days that you haven't done a lot of? I see a lot of people out there learning how to cook, learning how to do chores around the house, a lot of different things. We've been trying to do some laundry stuff at our house. So, what?
We've been doing yard work.
We have been doing a lot of yard work. If you roll past our house and see large wood blocks outside, it's because we're ripping fence posts out and other stuff as well too. So we have been doing a lot of yard work. We've been really out there doing that stuff. Our last student that we're going to talk about is Cam W. He's been working and checking all of his classes online, but nothing has really been posted. So when he's not working, he's sleeping. So he's just sleeping the coronavirus away. Hopefully he doesn't catch it in his sleep. He won't wake up and he'll never know. No reaction from Grace on that one. So a lot of people sleeping, a lot of people taking advantage of that extra time. There's one more that I'm going to highlight too. This student is not a freshman, but also had a chance to respond, and just to kind of share with you some of the things that she has been dealing with. Her name's Morissette, and one of the things she has been working a whole lot. So she's been working with the residents. She works at a elderly care facility. Tomorrow she's working a double shift. That was today. So whenever she goes to work, the med techs have to check her temperature to see if she's okay. If her temperature is 100 degrees, they get sent home. So she has to make sure that she's healthy to go in and take care of people that could be vulnerable to that. So it's really interesting that they have that going on. She has gotten into a routine of washing her hands, especially because she works in LCTI in the children, works with children in the setting up there. And at the facility, they ask her to really make sure that she is taking care of her hygiene and working. So she's just saying to make sure you wash your hands with soap, use it for 30 seconds and rinse good, staying away from different people. But one of the things she's saying is that she hopes she'll get to go back to school and enjoy some days before she graduates, and she hopes that they will still have the ball or the prom because other people have gotten that canceled. So in our last episode, we did talk about the play Hello Dolly and how that's been postponed. We talked about it, but it has been postponed. So we have a lot of students that are dealing with the postponement of different activities. So that's kind of one of the stinky parts about what's going on because, you have all these things that people are looking forward to. Even my daughter here was scheduled. She won a Math 24 competition or qualified, and she's scheduled to go somewhere on March 30th. Do you think you're going to Math 24 on March 30th?
I don't know.
I would say it's a pretty safe assumption that you are not going to be there. So we are scheduled to be back in school on Monday, March 30th, but who knows at this point. So hopefully you are out there staying safe. You are doing the things you need to be doing. Keep an eye on the website. Keep an eye on your Google Classrooms. Keep an eye on all that stuff as we move forward. So Grace, any last words of wisdom for the listeners out there?
Nope.
Nope, nothing. So what do you think about being a co-host to the show here?
It's fun.
It's fun. So are you going to be my new co-host for the for the remainder of the shutdown? So maybe we'll have my son Cole, who's a 6th grader at LMMS, or my daughter Joy, who's a 1st grader at West Coesville, along with Grace, who's also at West Coesville. We'll have them chime in. From time to time, we'll see how things are going. We'll kind of try to continue this every week. Maybe we'll try to mix in some other features as well, too. So this will be a good way to keep us updated on what people are doing and kind of keep a running record of how people have been. So any last words before signing off, Grace?
Nope.
So this was so keep posted, keep an eye out, and stay safe. Make sure you're keeping your distance, washing your hands, and making good choices. So we'll check in. So we'll check in again next week, and hopefully you're going to find some more things to keep you occupied and cut your parents a little bit of a break. So, all right, thanks a lot.